Welcome back. So, you guys saw the live. If you didn't, it's up. Go watch it. There's a reason I never take my truck to a shop. There's a reason I always do my own work. I didn't on the street walker because it was under warranty. Once the warranty ended, I started doing all my own work on it. The only reason this one went is because there's a warranty on the transmission. And boy, do we have a lot of stuff to go over. Obviously, I'm in my fixing things shirt. The hood's up. So we got it back. But it's not fixed. And it's probably not the scenario that you're thinking. I got a couple things I'm going to work on, troubleshoot. Again, like I said, I got a friend who used to work in the warranty department on these transmissions specifically for Dodge back when they were new. So he gave me a few things to go check, and I'll be back with you with more of this story later. Okay, so still pretty certain that the problem that I was experiencing was the governor solenoid. The reasoning for this is it was giving me control solenoid A circuit low or something along that. It was code P0973, I believe. And that's what it did in Indiana in the last video. And then it stopped. And then it did it again about 2 blocks down the road, less than a mile down the road. I limped it home. That was when I decided I would change the fluid, at which point the filter had 31,000 miles on it. So I figured time to change that filter because it's a new transmission. Again, you guys follow me on Instagram or you watch the live, you know I did that. I showed the video on Instagram showing that transmission fine, not abnormal wear, very minimal material in the pan, should be in great shape. Now, keep in mind, when I got this transmission from Power Torque, one of the bolts was stripped out. Was it stripped when I took it apart? Because one of them, could have been like it went in and then it ripped the threads out when it came out, or did I maybe over tighten that one bolt when I put it in? I'm not going to lay the blame 100% one way or the other. I don't think I over tightened it. I really don't. It's possible. Because I don't remember. I think I remember one of them. It would kind of get tight and then not, and kind of get tight and not, and I didn't have time to ship it back. Now. Again, did that happen as I was putting that one in and the threads just gave? Or did that happen at the factory and no one noticed it when it got sent to me? I don't know. So it's always had a leak, real minimal. Every 3,000 miles was a quart, roughly. It's, that's not a nothing leak, but it's not a bad leak. You know what I mean? I'm getting 4 or 5 days, and then I add a quart, and 4 or 5 days, add a quart. Now, granted, I was adding at the wrong line because the difference between park and neutral, great, cool. I was still checking it every day. I get here, and I take it to the shop. I showed you guys all on Instagram. And that's kind of where this gets interesting. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to take a shower. I just finished a test drive on this, and we'll cover that in the next clip after I get cleaned up. So with all of that, I'll see you guys in just a minute. All right. Haven't showered yet. Did wash the truck because it was covered in grease and transmission fluid and all that delightfulness. And then put all my bedding back in it and Put all the clothes back in it. She's completely ready to go tomorrow. Got a short little dispatch out of the Hanson yard. Call it a test run. Very light trailer, little 22 footer. And gonna take it down into Utah. Just a short little run, kind of make sure everything's going good. If not, then I know it's that solenoid, and we just wait for it to show up and put it in. Now, here's where we are. I called the shop before I took it in. I said, hey, here's the deal. Strip bolt, a little bit of a leak. I have dropped the pan, put a brand new filter in it, just filled all the fluid, topped it up. Everything is good. I didn't want to, again, wait for that for the strip bolt. I put a thin layer RVT on there, hoping that would seal it up. Did not. So I told him, it's got a transmission leak. It has a one stripped out bolt. Here is the code that it's doing. And, I read off the code number to him. He said, sure, go ahead, bring it in. I said, sweet. Drove over there. Went over the strip bolt. Went over the fluid leak. Showed him the code on my code reader. And I said, here's what it is. And he goes, nope, cool. We'll get a hold of Power Torque. I said, I already did. Here's the claim number. And they said, okay, cool. We'll get this taken care of. I said, here's my concern. As I told you on the phone, now I'm telling you again, I have an aftermarket pan on here. My concern was them voiding the warranty because of that. And he goes, no, we got you. We'll take care of you. Or something along that line. I said, okay, cool. He calls me the next day. Or the day after. I don't remember. He calls me back. Hey, this thing's got a really bad transmission leak. And I said, well, yeah, I told you that. Well, we tore into it and we have to change that transmission leak. Or we have to fix that transmission leak before we can do a warranty claim on it. Because that leak could be causing the problem. In my head, I'm trying to figure out how a leak would cause an electronic component to malfunction. And I go, well, no, that wasn't what we discussed. And he goes, well, we have to change the filter too, make sure the filter's not plugged. And I said, that filter has like 2 miles on it. You guys are, like, if this tree wasn't in the way, I could see you from my house. And I went the long way around the block so that I didn't have to jump 4 lanes of traffic. I could just wait for the red light or the green light and go. So it's maybe 2 miles on that filter and fluid. Oh, we've got to change it, make sure it's not the problem. Okay. So they've got my truck. They've torn into my truck. And now I have to pay over $500 for them to fix the leak that's, I noticed this morning, still there. And then to change the filter and fluid that went around the block and across the street. Okay, fine, whatever. Here's the $517 and whatever pennies. They call me the next day. Oh, it's working fine. So see, I dropped it off on a Wednesday. And then Friday was when I went to pick it up because it was fine. And, we test drove it, it's fine. I said, okay. I went south of town. It's 3-4 miles. Right where it turns into 55, and I could get it up and get it to lock into overdrive and drive it around a little bit there, and went into some back roads and stop, go. All in all, I did probably 6 miles, 4 miles, something in there. I wasn't really paying attention. I get back, and as I'm passing the shop, locks itself back in third gear. So the next place that I could turn after passing the shop out on the main street right there was up this road, right here past my house. So I went up the road past my house, around the block again, back to them. That's how close they are. There is not a side street between the street I'm on and the stoplight. Take it back Friday. I've had it for 15, 20 minutes. Nope, it did it again. Went out there, cleared the codes, read the codes, brought them back in. Here it is, same code. Oh yeah, they said there was never any codes in it. That was something else they said on the first go around. So I said, okay, here's the code that I've now given you for the third time. You just watched me go out and pull it right now, right in front of you, because you have a big bay window. You can see me from your desk. Here's the code. He goes, okay, well, it's getting kind of late in the day. They're probably going to jump on it first thing Monday morning. I said, that's fine. We can jump on it Monday morning. So Monday happens. 4 o'clock, I don't hear anything. So I called him. Hey, what's going on? Oh, he hasn't had a chance to get on it yet. Why not? Well, there were vehicles in front of you. How is there vehicles in front of me when you guys were already working on my truck? Told me it was fine. I brought it back and said it's not. Did you just open a whole new ticket? All right, back of the line. Back of the bus. Back of the bus, Casey. So he calls me back 30 minutes later. 20 minutes later, something like that. Hey, he test drove it twice. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no codes. It's going through all the gears. I said, great. Except that I showed you the code. And I brought it to you locked in third gear. And you guys didn't want to drive it then. You let it sit all weekend and wait till Monday. Okay. You know what? At this point, just give me my keys. I'm done dealing with you. Trying to keep my cool and not lose it on this guy, because it's just been event after event after event. At this point, they've had the truck for a week and a half, right? And they've done nothing and charged me $517. So, bring it back home. Talk to my buddy. He gives me, hey, before you go buy that governor solenoid, which I agree it probably is that, but before you do, try this. And, well, we'll see how that works. From the factory, well, you know what? I will film this part tomorrow morning out in the parking lot where I have more room to maneuver around the truck and kind of show you guys. So I'm going to go in and finally take that shower that I said I was going to take 2 hours ago. You know, before I wash the truck and put the bed back together and everything else, since I ended up not buying a new truck. So I'm going to go in and shower, and tomorrow morning I'll get the last little clip for this one, and we'll close it out. And with that, I'll see you guys, well, for you in a second, for me tomorrow. Okay, so good noise, which is exactly why I'm out here in the parking lot. Try to be courteous to the neighbors. So I just started it up. Did the pre-trip I needed it to do with the engine off. Started it, backed it out here, pointed it towards the businesses, towards the street, and let it warm up for a minute that way. But I figured, good time to fill you guys in on what I was talking about yesterday. So again, I'm pretty certain that it's that governor being bad. I'm kind of taking a gamble, taking off to grab this load, which is why I grabbed one that's short. If something happens, I'm close enough with what it's doing, I can get it back home, and I'm not taking off to Indiana or anything like that. So that's kind of the plan here. Now, the reason I think I might be okay is Apparently these have a very temperamental computer system for the transmission, because they don't actually have a TCM. Everything runs through the ECM or PCM or whatever acronym you want to use. One computer runs everything. And this damn thing has 6 grounds on it. There's from the battery to this side of the block, from this battery to this side of the block, from this battery to the fender, from this battery to the fender, from the ECM, PCM, whatever computer to the fender, and then one from the body to the back of the head. Now, when I took them apart, the 2 up here, one being the ground for the computer, had a little bit of corrosion on it. Now, it wasn't like, oh my god, that's corroded, but it was, there's a little bit of white on this. Okay, neat. So that's 2 grounds that are questionable. This one was fine. And here, let's do this. This one was fine. The one on this side of the block had a little bit of oil on it. I have a little bit of a power steering leak. So I went ahead and cleaned it anyway. This one had some rust on it, so I went ahead and cleaned it anyway. And then the one on the body was also rusty, so I cleaned it. And then I added one from that body mount to the bell housing. So now we're up to 7. And I did that because I couldn't get my big meat mittens into the area where that one bolts up on the head. I could touch it, but just barely touch the end of it. So I didn't want to risk putting a wrench on it, taking it off, and then not being able to put it back on. So I cleaned the one end. I'm hoping the other end is good. If not, I added a ground basically going to the same place. Instead of the top of the bell housing is now at the bottom. I don't see an issue. And I made sure that whole surface is open. So I'm going to give that a shot, see what it does. Maybe it works. If not, again, like I said, I have a load that takes me down south to Utah, and I saw one that I'm hoping to get that runs me up to Washington. So either way, I'm close to home. Brings a little bit of money in and keeps me close in case there's a problem. I have ordered that part. If I have any issues whatsoever, that part should be here Monday. So by the time I get down and back up here and then up to Washington and back through here, I'm 4 days through my cycle, so I'll have most of my cycle spent by the time I get back here. And then it'll be Saturday night. So there's a good chance I'll just be home, drop the pan, change that part, because it's inside the transmission behind the valve body, so I gotta take it way apart. So we're gonna give that a shot. Anyway, I'm gonna finish up my pre-trip. I'm gonna get on the road, and I'll see you guys hopefully at a delivery. Just kidding. Not a delivery. That's the end of this video. So, long story short, I kind of feel like they told me what I wanted to hear so that I would come in and drop the truck off. And once they kind of had me, they hit me with that $500 bill, promising a warranty replacement, new transmission, and then did everything in their power to not submit the claim to Power Torque to get me that transmission fixed. Because, again, I went in, here's the code, I pulled it right in front of you. Oh, we don't see a code. We can't pull a code. We can't find one. There's no codes in that computer at all. Well, that's a lie, because I know it also has a code for fan speed sensor. So why would you tell me that there's no codes at all? They were made aware of the aftermarket pan and the leak and the stripped out bolt. Said no problem, everything's fine. Got it in their hands. Oh, we have to fix all this. That's going to come out of your pocket. Okay, well, now that we fixed it, you paid us. We don't find a problem. So there you go. That's what it was. That leak was causing your electrical component to fail. Okay. And they were made aware of the aftermarket pan on it multiple times, and then hit me with, well, we think that pan's going to void your warranty, so we're trying to fix it for you without going that route. Okay, so you just want more money. Got it. And this is why I don't take my trucks to shops. This is why I don't care about having a warranty anymore. And this is why I'm not going to buy new, because I don't want a warranty. And newer means more computer. I have a small window of truck I'm shopping for. I do like this truck, but it's not the one for this job. This is a stepping stone for me. That's why this truck is listed on Facebook Marketplace here in the Boise area of Idaho for sale right now. So we're either fine, or we're coming back home and tearing the transmission apart to replace the part that I'm pretty sure is the problem, but I'm hoping I fix it with ground straps. All right? Cool story. Thanks. As always, those of you out on the roads, I wish you fair winds and following seas. Take care and have a great day.